esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Okay, calm down.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Quack, quack.
You just have to draw your own conclusions, people.
About Bruno and Tyson, but give the common man the raise he so richly deserves. Don't lose him. Don't be standing on the dock of the bay when the ship is out to sea and the common man is on board. You better get on board. Don't be there crying and whining. Get him and keep him. Give him the raise that he deserves.
Very funny. Very funny.
You can't have it both ways.
Correct. There may be skullduggery ahead. Correct.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
You find this funny, Mr. Grove? You're smiling. Do you find this humorous? No, they're not. Do you find this humorous, Mr. Grove? You're laughing and smiling. I'm just wondering if you do. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Grove. Do you find this humorous?
No, I find it keeping the 4 years.
At least you're not smiling and laughing now. Oh, I guess you're back at it again.
He's the clown from Brown.
Okay, so
He's
what?
the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Little ack-ack-a-dack and dack-dack-ack to you and yours. I'm Common. It's 10 to be. Here till 3. The legendary one, Mark Rosen, will join us just before 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm a boomer, Teneby, and you are a tennilennial, so maybe you can help me with some questions I have about technology. In general, specifically my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device. It's a wonderful invention. I love it. You can text, you can talk, you can read news, you get you can get weather on it, maps, right? What's the word I'm looking for?
GPS.
Yeah, GPS, right? The whole thing. It's just there's so many things it's also going to be diabolical as well. When you go to click on a news story and it asks you if you want to accept cookies. Now, I love chocolate chunk cookies probably more. They got them at Kowalski's. They got them at Costco. They've got them at Cub. They got them at Jerry's. Wherever my wife goes, they have chocolate chunk cookies. And I think you're an Oreo guy, right? And you're one of those guys. Do you twist them off and then eat the filling first? Are you one of those guys?
I only like the double stuff, though.
Okay.
The original Oreos.
Okay.
Not going to work.
Are you a person that twists them and then eats because I'm not. I
change it up.
Yeah. Oh, you
per
do?
cookie. Yeah.
Well, you kind of let your hair. Sorry about that. I was going to say you let your hair down. And you don't have any, so I apologize. I shouldn't use. Is it wrong to use?
That's offensive.
Is that offensive?
Yeah.
Because, if I said it to somebody like Misa, If I said it to somebody like if I said it to somebody that's got a full, like PA, a full head of hair, it's not that, hey, you let your hair down. But if I say it to you, I probably really shouldn't do this. So I apologize if your feelings were hurt there. It's more just it's just an old saying, right? It wasn't meant to try to needle you.
Sure.
You know, and look, you're the one that was irresponsible that you lost your hair, as Isaac Whitty once said. What are cookies? When they say, you know, if you read you're obligated cookies, what are those on a
I'm
phone?
not the one to ask.
Oh, I thought you knew those kinds of things. Oh, well, there goes the whole bit.
I know technology more than you, but I'm not.
Well, there goes the whole bit. So now
I'm not in the IT department.
Well, there goes the whole bit.
We can just Google it.
I've thought for sure. So now it's like, take this to 12:15, 12:13 or 14.
Cookies are small text files placed on your device by websites to remember your information. Such as login status, shopping cart items, or site preferences.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Because aren't there... Can your information, they sell it to people, right? Who gets it and who sells it? Is it like if you have Verizon or T-Mobile, are they the ones selling it? Is it Google that's selling it? Is it X who's selling your information? Because I wonder because people are obviously buying it. Here's the point I'm trying to get to. I get these all the time. I got a phone call or a text message. Hey, Daniel, Ryan here from, and I'll leave the company, it's a local company, I'll just leave it blank, right? We're doing free inspections in St. Paul this week and next. Interested? No, I'm not. If I was interested, I would have called you. How did they get my phone number is what I want to know.
I got one from an alleged realtor this morning.
I got that exact. I bet you got it from the same person.
I reported it to spam. Was it?
Is it a 262 number out of eastern Wisconsin?
I have since deleted it. But like I said, I reported it to spam, and then that deletes the text.
Hey, Daniel, it's Sky again. And then she's got the little, you know that little sign, the two dots on top of each other, the little smiley thing on the side, like she's smiling at me? Buyers are still looking for homes like 1314 Insane Lane. Would you sell in the next 12 months if timing and price were right? I texted back, nope. N-O-P-E. Just nope.
Not going to work.
Literally 2 minutes later, let me do this. I'll have my partner get some information ready and let you know how much you can get today for your property. Would that be okay? Nope. I texted back, nope. Didn't you get the first text? I'm not interested in talking to you. If I were buying or selling a home, the only real estate agent I would use would be the Pomerleau team of JPW Realty Twin Cities, right? But, and it's not the end of the world. I don't want to call it an invasion of privacy. You know, when you turn on a radio and you're expecting to hear ads. That's the way it is. You turn on a TV, you open up a newspaper, right? And even on my phone, I know that if I go to The Athletic, or if I go to Fish Wrap Factory East Side, Fish Wrap Factory West Side, go to whatever, I know there are going to be ads, and I don't mind that because, look, that's how you and I, if there wasn't such a thing as our advertising, you would be the video coordinator for the Minnesota Wild, and I would probably be in a gutter somewhere, right? Or maybe I'd be working at that donut shop again that I got fired from back when I was 17, 18 years old. Or maybe I'd be in San Jose parking cars and pumping gas. I'd be doing something different. So I appreciate it. But how do these people? So somebody sold. I'm assuming they bought a list, right? Is that what this real
That's
estate
possible.
company?
My assumption it's a scam.
But how do they know?
Because I got a similar one to you. Mine was a different name.
But how do they know my name and know my address? I mean, they know my name and my address.
My address wasn't listed on there.
But mine is.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Mine has my name. Did they say, hey, Tennessee? Did they have your name on it? Mine had my name. It says, hey, Daniel, it's Sky again. Buyers are still looking for homes at 1314 Insane Lane. They got my name, my number, my address, name, rank, serial number. I don't know what else they have of mine. I don't, and I'm just wondering where they came, and I'm assuming they bought it for somebody and who sold it to them. And then, because oftentimes when you're going to click on something, it says, we will never sell your information. Some people come right out and say, we're not going to do that. But obviously other people are.
Oh, it did have my address on here.
Yeah.
Mine says, hi, Brandon. It's Mia.
Yeah.
I just want to check in. I work with some local St. Paul realtors, and there seems to be buyers picking up, looking for homes similar to yours at 1314 Insane Lane.
Is it a 262 area code?
612 area code.
Oh, mine's a 262, and I looked that up.
Mine's local.
For people that don't know it, you and I are really good detectives.
We proved that yesterday.
That is correct.
I mean, we nailed it.
And so today, or when I saw this come over yesterday, last evening, I immediately I Googled, where is the 262 area code? And it says it's over in the Milwaukee area, Milwaukee, in that part, eastern Wisconsin. But here's what I'll tell you: I'll sell my information to people. I'll sell you my phone number. You can buy and you can send me as many texts as you want as long as you pay me a monthly fee. But who is selling? I want it because somebody sold this to them. They had to have. I don't know how else they would know about me. Maybe somebody can answer that question. It's I'd like to get to the bottom of it, and I won't lose sleep over it. Like you do. You just report it as spam, or I just say nope, and I just ignore them, and hopefully they will not get back to me again. I had another one I told you. Oh, I already read that one, didn't I? Here's another one. Oh, how about this? This is another one that came over yesterday. I forgot about this one. Can you find out where the 570 area code is? Google, where is the 57 area code? Let's see what AI says for us, or Grok AI, or Google, or whoever.
Northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Okay. Hi, Daniel.
Like Scranton.
Hi, Daniel. Chris Thompson from your local arborists in St. Paul. You're not local. Now you're lying to me as well. We're running a promotion for tree trimming and removals. Interested? I'm gonna send him nope right now. Nope. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what Rosen did when I asked him if he would trade Anthony Edwards for Victor Wembanyama. Not in a million. Not in a million years. I'm not interested. If I want tree trimming and tree removal, I go with the Willow River Experience at Willow River Company over in Hudson. You've probably heard me mention them before. He says he's local. He's from the St. Paul Arborist. He's from Pennsylvania. Punxsutawney Phil.
Maybe he just got here recently.
No, of course he did.
And he's working here for the company.
Yeah. So here we go, Tenneby. We're like Cagney and Lacey. We're detectives. Do you remember the show Cagney and Lacey? I'm dating myself. There was a show called Cagney and Lacey. It was a couple of female detectives. They were a pair. So we're the male version of Cagney and Lacey. We've gotten to the bottom of this one. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple is on the other side of the break. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the legendary one, Mark Rosen, will join us just before 2 o'clock here on The Fan.
Chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program?
Sure.
Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryan text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Do you have issues with dates and time, certain time periods?
Talking about like dating and...
No. For instance, like I said, I mentioned a TV show, Cagney and Lacey.
Yeah.
And I asked if you knew it. Because if you would have asked me, have you heard of the show Cagney and Lacey? I say, yeah, I never watched it, but I heard of it. When was it on? I'd say, I don't know, probably sometime in the late 90s or early 2000s. It was before you were born. When were you born?
Late December back in 79.
Okay, you were alive. 1982 to 1988. It says Cagney and Lacey was a groundbreaking American police procedural drama that aired on CBS from 1982 to 1988, starring Tyne Daly as Mary Beth Lacey and Sharon Gless as Christine Cagney, two female New York City detectives with contrasting personal lives. The series was praised for its realistic portrayal of women in law enforcement, tackling social issues like sexism, domestic violence, and alcoholism, and earned multiple Emmy Awards for its lead actresses. It was known for its strong feminist themes and the dynamic partnership between the career-focused Cagney and the married mother Lacey. Aw. So that's why I said you and I are sort of like the Cagney and Lacey, the male members. But I thought I would have if I would have been on a game show and they say, what years did Cagney and Lacey appear on CBS? I would have said, I suppose 1998 through 2008. That's how bad. Are you the same way? Like if
I don't think I'd be that far off.
I always think everything was 8-10 years ago. It seems like 8-10 years. If anybody asks me, when was that happen? I think it was 8 or 10 years ago. That's always my response. And it's obviously, maybe I'm just spinning. Maybe it's because I don't like that time continues to march on. And of course, time marches on to the beat of its own drummer as well. A peek at the purple.
When did Brad Radke pitch for the Twins?
I got that same email.
Can you get the range?
He wasn't around for the 91 World Series, but he was after that. 2003, 2008, 1998 to 2009.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That's pretty close. 95 to 2006.
Okay. 95 to 2006. That's better.
Yeah.
Maybe if I wasn't so intellectually lazy. Remember we talked about it last week. I don't like talking with people that don't stimulate me intellectually.
And you're on the air with me every day for 3 hours? That doesn't make sense.
And you know what? I talk to myself a lot. This one says, more like Thelma and Louise going down with the ship / Grum. Thelma and Louise. That was a movie, I believe.
Yes.
What do you remember when that movie was? I've heard the movie.
I was a child.
I've never, I would have thought that was more recent than that. I would have said probably sometime in the 2000s. Everything seems like it was 8 or 10 years ago.
That's definitely not 2000s. I would guess early 90s.
This one says it's called time blindness, and it's an ADHD trait.
Thelma and Louise was 1991.
That's the year the Twins won the World Series. Yeah, funny how I can remember that. ADHD. Can you Google time blindness? I don't believe there's such a thing. Time blindness. That's what he's saying. Time blindness, and it's an ADHD trait. Tell me if you see anything that says...
The term time blindness describes a persistent difficulty in managing time and perceiving how quickly it passes.
That's me. And then that goes back to what we talked about with Little B, about, were you here when we talked about the temporal, the thing in your head, that if you don't continue to, like when you're 23, like you're like Deuce, you got a gal, you got your friends, you got a new job, you're traveling, you have so many different, you're doing play-by-play, you're doing so many things in your life, it seems like your life goes slower. Whereas if you're like me, get up, play, I forgot, I did play golf today. I'm close to it. I'm really...
What did you shoot today?
I shot 83.
Where'd we play?
Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on one?
I played the first 2 holes brilliantly. I hit it right up the gut.
How far from the green was it?
It hit that little front of the green and rolled back about 121. It hit it shot? And came back a little bit. I decided to putt from there, and I putted to about a foot. Almost.
Then what?
Well, then I played... I was perfect on
incredible
on number 2. Perfect drive, perfect hybrid, perfect iron. 15 feet left, just missed that. Then how about this break? And you make your own breaks. Par 3 third at Loggers. You know, it's got the pond on the left, and it's got those 3 grass moguls. And there's also a couple of boulders there. I pop up my hybrid because it's a back left pin. I got to hit hybrid. I'm an old man. I pop it up. It hits the hill and rolls back right between two of the boulders. I have to take an unplayable. I mean, there's 3 boulders on the hole, and I have to go right by them. So I ended up making a double there. Bogey number 4, and then I parred 5, parred 6, had to scramble on 7. Finally hit it down the left side. I can play 7. It's a great hole. Too bad you got to walk down at single file. You played 7 before. It's near. I hit driver every time. People can't believe it. I can play that course 100 times and hit the fairway 98 times. I've played it 4 times this year, and I haven't hit the fairway yet. This time, though, it went down the left side. There's like 3 or 4 trees over there. I'm right in the little grove of trees, so I got to punch out there. And then I started doing this, get to the top and get too quick to get to the ball. So I'm 92 yards away from the green on 9, and I hit it in the water, pulled it left, a ground ball. It looked like a ground ball to short. But it got better on the back. I shot 39. I'm getting close.
Peak of the Purple is brought to you by...
This one says, funny, Thelma and Louise plus 91 Twins championship both drove off a cliff ever since. Well, that's true. Yeah, Peek at the Purple, by the way, is brought to you by Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs. If you have spring projects you want to do, like you're going to put in a hot tub and you need to have it wired, they can do that. If you need outdoor lighting, patio lighting, whatever it is, go with Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com is the easiest way to get hold of them. Or 612-331-VOLT. You can call or text 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com. They are shockingly affordable. I guess there is one piece of Viking news I did see today. I think it was part of yesterday's. They've got something going on. The NFL's annual league meeting. Is that what's happening right now? I think it's called the annual league meeting. There were some quotes from Sir Mark Wilf, and basically said, people are asking, so what do you do with the general manager job? You going to have one yet? And he was like, don't worry, we'll get to it. They're going to, as soon as the draft is over, and he wants to do it expedite. They want to work quickly, is what they want to do. But it doesn't sound like, at least they're not publicly saying if they have any individuals in mind, certain people, and they won't say whether Brzezinski is in or out on that. They don't want to tip their hand at all. Whether Brzezinski is a candidate or not. But that would be the only news, is that the Wilfs have just, and I don't even call it news because it's just confirming what they've said before, is like, we're not going to hire a general manager till after the National Football League draft. And we want that general manager to work closely with the coaching staff. So that's what you have. Let's do this. Let's break. Peek at the Purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. Come back with a little Distat Lad here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
KFAN welcomes some great shows to Grand Casino Arena in the next year, including Lionel Richie with Earth, Wind, and Fire on June 24th. Tickets are on sale now. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Wolves defeat the Mavericks. Terrible team, terrible city, terrible. Not the Wolves. Talking about the Mavericks. Terrible team, terrible city, terrible fans, terrible stadium. Everything about them is terrible. 124-94 blowout. Anthony Edwards returned. He was supposed to start, but apparently, I think maybe he had to use the restroom because he didn't come out when the team was ready to start the game. Maybe he's irregular. I don't know. But he's a regular on the team. He starts, but maybe he is irregular, and so he wasn't able to get there. I'm assuming that's why he wasn't out there when the game started, but he came in after about 2 minutes and played pretty well. They win.
By the way, it's the second time in his career now he's now missed the start of the game.
Well, that'll happen. Well, he had to go to the bathroom. He couldn't control it. I mean, there have been times where I have to run from here to go to the restroom, and I don't get back right when the segment's ready to start. So I'll give him a break on it. But maybe there's something more sinister. I don't know. I saw Randball wrote because Io had a great game last night. He had a triple-double. 16th player in Wolves history to have a triple-double. He was like 18, 12, and 15. I mean, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists. And so Randball wrote a piece today, Fish Wrap Factory West Side, what's his role with the team? If you'll remember last week, I said he should be starting. I'm ahead of the game, because I got a great basketball mind. I would be playing him more often. And again, I tried to troll people, but nobody was buying into it when I said Edwards shouldn't start. He should be the sixth man off the bench. But I'm a believer, and again, I don't coach basketball and I don't play the game, but I'm just a believer in you kind of go with hot hands. And if he's been playing very well with Ant out, he's been adding a lot to the team. Well, then play him more. It's like the better you play, the more minutes you should get. And if you're playing well enough, then you should insert you into the starting lineup. I don't care who the other players are. And now with McDaniel out, and I know, you got center, small forward, power forward, shooting guard, point guard. Those are your starting positions that have been around forever, right? But I think aren't those positions sort of kind of a blend now? It's like you can have a guy that can play some small forward and play shooting guard. You can bounce people around and move people in different positions, especially depending upon matchups. They talk about going small ball. I mean, if the other team's got two big guys in the lineup, then you got to play a little bigger, so you kind of have to adjust to what the other teams are doing. But I'd play them more. It's another acquisition that happened just before the trade deadline that I'd never heard of the kid before. I had no idea who he was. Apparently Connolly did because he traded for him, and the guy has been a real contributor to the team to this point. So play him more, right? I mean,
especially after last night's performance,
right? If that means put him in the starting lineup, or at least I don't know. Can he? Ant has played some point guard for us because we really don't have a true point guard. Is that correct? We don't really have one because Conley just isn't going to play 40 minutes a night. That's just not going to happen anymore. And so I don't think we have a pure, and the guy we wanted, we traded him. Who was the guy we drafted? What was the kid's name?
Dilly?
Yeah, Dilly. So we traded him. So I don't think
we got Ayo for him.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't think we have a pure point guard, but I think Ant was playing some of that. Maybe Ayo can play that. I don't know. But that's what I would do is, for me, it's like, I don't think you have to determine what a person's role is. The better they play, they more contribute, the more minutes they should get. I think it's as simple as that. And if the way he's contributing, I would play him more often than not, because let's face it, this team is, especially with McDaniel now, it looks like they're hoping they get him back for the playoffs, right? He's got whatever that injury was, whatever the technical term for it, he's got issues. He can't play right now. They said he's basically week to week more than day to day, game to game. So whether he's ready to play or not, I guess they're probably going to try to rest him until playoff time and see if he can play then, because they do need him. I mean, he is their best defender, right? He always draws the other team's best offensive player in most cases. And he's also been really good offensively this year. He's had career highs in shooting percentage, points per game, 3-point shooting percentage. So it's tough to replace his productivity. But it sounds like they got a couple of options here going forward. Did you tell me the Wild have 4 days off before they play again, or is it 3 now?
No, they don't play till Thursday night.
Okay.
They are practicing today, though. So Jared Spurgeon, who missed the last game, he had some stitches after his head went into the post 2 games ago. He's back practicing today. So they're basically all fully healthier.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
I was looking at a story, and I know you had talked about some of these numbers before. And let's see if I can... The Wild has not been playing particularly well. This is a this is an Athletic story from the other day. It says the Wild, in large part because Kaprizov and Boldy aren't scoring, have dried up offensively. Their 2.88 goals per game since the Olympics is tied for 19th. Their 28 5-on-5 goals are tied for 23rd. Their power play at 23.5% is tied for 13th.
That's fine. Yeah.
Defensively, they've been mostly adequate, tied for 10th best at 2.81 goals against per game, with a penalty kill that is third best at 84.1. So some of those numbers are, they're just not producing like they were before. And the whole gist of the article was, I guess, what we've been talking about here. Wild are a contender on paper, but have disappointed lately. What's going on? Is it run deeper than that? And Kaprizov hasn't played particularly well of late. Is that correct?
Yes, but I will say his last game, I thought he was good.
Okay.
In Boston, he looked to be a little more assertive, a little bit more energized. That line scored a couple goals in that game. So I did like his game against Boston. But, Boldy has been the guy, and he's been, for the vast majority of your season, he's been consistently probably your best forward. At least, you could say best player until Quinn Hughes came along. He's been the one who's he's not even really been a threat lately.
And we think he's tuckered?
That's just the convenient excuse.
Because he plays a lot of minutes, more than most, right? And then he played in the Olympics.
He's not playing any more minutes.
Oh, he's not?
Quinn Hughes is more of your minutes muncher.
I'm sorry. That's what I thought you were talking
about. Boldy.
Oh, Boldy. I'm sorry.
But Boldy did play in the Olympics, so he kind of really hasn't been the same. I thought the first couple games after the Olympics he was good, but he's been in a drought the last 7 where not only has he not scored, but he really hasn't even threatened. And a lot of that is, he clearly has a ton of skill, but you got to have a little bit more a little bit more grit. And that's what's kind of elevated him this year compared to past years. I feel like that's gone away a little bit. And whether he's tight or not, whether it's because these games ultimately don't mean anything, I don't know. But, Quinn Hughes and Boldy both played in the Olympics, and they both don't look like the same players we saw earlier in the year right now. But those two also have a little bit more equity where I'm not as concerned about them regaining that.
Is it possible winning the gold medal is going to cost us? Maybe winning the gold medal was a bad thing.
Other teams that have Olympians on their roster. So.
I know, but they're apparently not being
Colorado
affected by it.
Colorado had a few on Team Canada.
Well, but they're not being affected by it. We are. I think winning the gold medal. See, I knew the Olympics was a mistake. We should not have played in the Olympics. Rest is better. Rust and rest is better than playing in the Olympics.
You just talked about Kaprizov struggling. He didn't play in the Olympics.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Because Russia was not allowed.
Well, I think he might be a little
The team will never admit it. I still think it comes down to these games haven't meant anything, and they're just taking the foot off the gas a little bit. Not excusing that.
I would hope you're not.
But I'm just...
Make no mistake, Guerin's extremely frustrated by his team's play since the Olympics. He's not happy about it.
Sure, you want to be going into the playoffs playing your best hockey.
Should he go into the locker room and say, I don't care if you guys don't feel like we have anything to play for. Start playing. Maybe we'll find somebody who will. Well, then it hasn't worked. Are they not listening to him?
Maybe he did after this article.
The Wild have the Wild have won 4 of their past 11 games. That's awful. That's bottom feeder play. Only 2 of those coming in regulation with a 7-7-2 mark since the Olympic break. That's a 500 club. Those 16 points heading into Sunday's NHL action were 23rd in the league. Their 5 regulation wins in those 16 games is tied for 18th. What's wrong with this club? Here I have been trying to defend them. I've been fending off the basketball community for my criticisms over the the Wolves' lack of effort. And they get on me about, why don't you criticize the Wild? Why don't you criticize? They deserve criticism. This is unacceptable play. And I don't care about an excuse about, well, we're tired from the Olympics or these games are meaningless. We are the top-ranked radio show in our time slot, yet we don't take a break every day. We work hard every single day. You heard yesterday's show, rave reviews. We don't, you know what? This show really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme. In one show, it doesn't, in a 3-month period, In a 3-month report card, one show isn't going to make that big of a difference, but we still take that show seriously and put everything into it each and every day. These guys are highly paid professionals. They're making a lot more money than you and I are. I'm bothered by it. Now, not to the point where, again, in the grand scheme,
Aruga.
Yeah, I care more about my golf game than I do the Wild. Is this wrong to say this on the All Sports station? If my choice is to shoot even par sometime this year again, because I haven't done it since Memorial Day weekend, going on 3 years ago, or the Wild win a Stanley Cup, I'm rooting for me to shoot even par more than the Wild win a Stanley. Is that wrong? Because I care more about my golf game than I do the Wild. Don't you? Do you care more about your golf game or more about the Wild?
I generally speaking care more about my golf game, but in that scenario, I'd probably, me hitting par has never happened, but I think I'd still take the Cup because it's the Cup.
Here's your choice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I laid out for LaBelle all those years ago.
Yep. I
said, if you knew trading Royce Lewis would allow the Twins to win one World Series, would you do it? He said no. I said, why? Because Royce Lewis has the potential to lead them to multiple World Series championships, which is obviously preposterous. If I said to you, Teneby, if the Wild don't win a Stanley Cup, you're going to shoot even par and you're going to become a low single-digit handicap player, which would you take?
Well, so now it's a little different because now you're saying I'm going to become a low digit.
Yeah, let's say that.
As opposed to a one-time.
Well, I'm still saying what for you is more important? You becoming a low single-digit handicap player or a bunch of guys you don't know winning a Stanley Cup? That none of them are from here. Do we have any Minnesotans on the team? One or two, maybe?
Yeah, we got a couple. Faber.
What would be more important to you?
We got Faber and Brink.
Becoming a scratch golfer. Becoming like Adam Thielen.
I'd rather be a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love a cup here.
Yeah, I would too.
That'd be great.
I'd love a Lombardo.
But the cup is temporary happiness that'll fade away eventually. Scratch golfing, I'm happy forever.
That's exactly right. Someone just sent a text that says,
No more cheap shots from you about hitting the ball 200 yards down the fairway and then 100 yards into the woods.
I thought you loved parades. I do love parades, but I would still rather be a scratch golfer. I would rather Teneby become a scratch golfer and it's not even my game. I'd rather you become a scratch golfer.
Wow.
Than the Wild win a Stanley Cup. And I'd love to win the Cup. Can both happen? There's probably a better chance the Wild win a Cup.
I was going to say, what do you think's more likely?
I would think probably the Wild winning a Cup than you becoming a scratch golfer, but you just haven't had the opportunity to pour your heart and soul into it because you're raising kids.
I'm watching Scotty grow.
You're watching Scotty grow, is what you're doing. Common man, you're so true about the money. Hold on. You're so true about the money. Some of them guys will make more money in 1 year than we will make in our whole life. Well, yeah. I mean, what is Kaprizov's deal for?
Well, starting next year, he's going to be getting $17 million a year.
Yeah, $17 million a year, absolutely.
But I mean, really, that 17, when you think about it, is after taxes,
9
down to 9.
Then you got to buy a house, buy a car, save, invest, flaunt. It's really going to be about $2.5 million a year. Can he make that last? That's the thing. I don't know if, and then the exchange rate to rubles. I don't know what that is. Is it worth,
and he's got the membership at the
Leningrad Country Club.
Yeah.
That costs a lot of money. Can you make that last? That's the big trick. So, here's one. Is overtaking Dallas not something to play for? I'm confused. Can they still overtake Dallas? We keep saying they can't, but
they ain't going to overtake Dallas.
But just after their win before that, they were only 3 points back, wasn't it?
I think last time I checked, they were 6 points back. I'll take a look again. They're 6 back with 8 games to go. Odds are that, they do play Dallas one more time. I also think, I bet Craig Leopold would love to have an extra game at home. for his
Right.
pocketbook, but
Yep.
ultimately in terms of a competitive advantage, it's very slight.
Still, it's a goal. You can throw something out there to make you play better. If they're indeed just going, there's nothing to play for, we're going to go through the motions. It's human nature. I can't get myself fired up. Well, maybe you need to do something to fire yourself up for it. Come up with something. I don't like the idea. If indeed what it is there's nothing to play for, they just feel like, well, we're kind of stuck in the same side. I don't like that attitude. I think that's an awful attitude to have as a professional hockey team, professional football team, baseball, whatever the case may be. You can maybe say it's human nature, and maybe for a game or two you feel that way, but you should still say, let's get this thing ramped up. Let's start getting ourselves ready, and maybe they will start doing that. Now, how many games do they have left? 8. I would think now is when, with 8 games, unless we think they can just turn it on and off like a switch, like the Wolves apparently think they can. These teams think that it's just that simple. It's the guaranteed contracts and the idolization and pedestalization. That's what this is all about.
The hard part they're going to have and the coaching staff's going to have is trying to find your playoff game before the playoffs without risking injuries and making sure you're healthy. That's going to be the tough balance they're going to have.
Would you rather have 2 clean microwaves in the break room or the Wild win a Stanley Cup? I would take the clean microwave up. I couldn't have lunch yesterday.
Well, you deal with that every day, yeah.
I could not. And you know what? I noticed today the microwave has been cleaned up.
It was. I used it.
Do we know who ended up cleaning it?
I don't know.
I hope Emily did.
I did hear we had a confession yesterday, 3 to 6:30.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe after the show, he went and cleaned it up.
It was great investigative work on your part.
You helped listener came up with a big tip?
Yep.
Our tip line?
Yep. Well, I went in there, and the first thing I did was I took a whiff of what was in there, and I thought it was, and I think there was a chocolate to it, because I think that mocha latte, frappe, whatever it was.
He said it was a foo-foo drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he acknowledged
that's where the chocolate came from. Did he acknowledge anything else? Did he say why it happened or anything? Or
so kind of the theory I suggested is what he went with. So whether he just stole my theory or not, or if that was the truth, he said that he put it in the microwave and hit the reheat button, and usually there's sensors in the reheat button and it just stops on its own.
Right.
Well, he comes to find out like a segment later, it never stopped. So it had been in the microwave for, I'm sure, a long time. Everything just exploded, and he started to clean it up, which is what I saw in the trash bin. I saw the one goop of paper towels that clearly it had been cleaned up a little. And then I think he was in the middle of Sunday sermons. He didn't have enough time to commercial break, so he told himself, hey, after the show, I'll come back out and clean it, and then he forgot it.
Okay.
Which was my theory.
Yeah. Well, that's good then. That we got to the bottom of it, and it was and look, it was it was inconvenient for other people. The salespeople weren't able to use the microwave. So if anybody had a lunch yesterday, they couldn't use a microwave. I wasn't able to use a microwave. That's all it was about. I mean, accidents happen all the time, right? There isn't a month that goes by where I don't break 1 or 2 glass dishes at home, washing dishes. Something happens. I get going, slips out of my hand, shatters on the ground. Okay, it happens. You just got to move on with your life. So there you go. This one says, you're more worried about your golf games and the Wild winning the Cup. You two should both be on probation until after the playoffs are over. Not a chance. This one said...
Can we get paid on probation?
This one says, I think the power trip is owed an apology. Well, I thought I did yesterday by saying if it wasn't them, I apologize. But I talked to Meat Sauce. I talked to Meat Sauce on the way home. He wondered he goes, what is this coffee thing all about? And I said, I told him I blamed him. I said, I thought he took one of those peanut butter parfaits and tried to heat it up because he wanted the chocolate to get warm, but he didn't realize the ice cream would melt. He goes, brilliant, brilliant. So he loved it.
I always loved that.
He's not offended by it. I got a good vibe with the Power Trip Morning Show. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We got some 5-3-4. 10 of what you got for us in 5-3-4.
Yeah, is the Big Ten now the big dog?